Coach for 7 years in Philadelphia. Milton from deep.
And I know this, Mark, if I'm the Sixers, you didn't arrive at this place this season. I think you have to look at your organization from top down. I wouldn't just be looking at Brett Brown. I'd be looking at the decisions made across the board. Brett may end up being the scapegoat, but this is one hell of a high-character man. What is the level of accountability of those stars every single day? This isn't about one man or one decision.
This is a team last year that had Jimmy Butler.
Landry Shamet, and there was a high level of comfortability for Joel. Like, I'm looking at everything if I'm the Sixers.
A big what's up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be deep diving into every single offseason move that the Sixers have done to retool the team going into the 2021 NBA regular season. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. I'm excited, and I know you are as well, because why else would you click this video? Here we go. So the first thing that Daryl Morey did was get out of the Al Horford contract, which is 3 years and $80 million. He did so by trading him to the Oklahoma City Thunder, as well as this year's second-round pick and a future 2025 first-round pick for Danny Green, a top 3-and-D player who brings a veteran presence, spaces the floor, shot it at 40% clip last season, and is on a 1-year, $15 million contract. In addition, Terrence Ferguson, an athletic, ferocious, energy, defensive prospect given as a throw-in piece. Many people thought it would be hard to get rid of the Al Horford, or rather trade Al Horford and his contract due to the lack of production, but no need, because Daryl Morey got it done. He swapped out 3 years and $80 million for a championship pedigree player, someone who has won and been an important piece in the last 2 championships, the LA Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. After the first domino fell, it was on to draft night. With their first pick, they drafted Tyrese Maxey, a guard out of Kentucky. He has a defensive motor out of this world and is a combo guard who can score dynamically. His shot creating can be beneficial down the line once he develops and understands the NBA game. He fell in his draft more than likely due to COVID. He wasn't able to show his skills during the NCAA tournament. In college, he averaged 14 points per game while shooting 83% from the free throw and 29.3% from 3. Coach Cal compared him to Jamal Murray in many recent interviews and said that,
I thought he should have gone up earlier. Let me just tell you, there's a lot of people going to regret that they passed. There's about 8 positions that they're going to look back a few years from now and say, look where he went and where he could have gone. He goes to Philly. Do you know who the last player Doc had for us and how he did with them? It was Shea. I'm going to go deeper. Sam Cassell was helping tutor John Wall in Washington, Shea, and now he has Tyrese.
Many scouts believe that his shots should transfer into the NBA game. One, because of his free throw percentage being so high, showing that his shot isn't broken. And 2, because he shot around 40% from 3 in big college games. This kid just needs to work on consistency, and he should be a piece that will help us into the future, filling in for the Fultz, Josh Richardson role. Morey would finish up the draft by selecting Isaiah Joe and Paul Reed with the 49th and 58th pick, respectively. Joe, who is a forward from Arkansas, is a sharpshooting flamethrower who shot 38% on threes last season on 9 attempts per game. He has 4th most made threes in NCAA for the last year, and he is very confident and knows why he is here in Philadelphia and knows his role. I have to give a shout out to Elton Brand for this pick. In a lot of the hysteria, we tend to give Daryl most of, if not all of, the credit. But it must be noted that Elton Brand had his eyes on this kid for the last 2 years. It's similar to how he had his eyes on Matisse Thybulle last year's draft. And then Paul Reed is essentially a stretch 4 from DePaul University and is a analytics darling. He is from the Jeremy Grant mold. A little bit longer arm reach and just bigger in general. So if he can add on to his defensive skills while slowly chipping away of his offensive deficiencies, we might have a steal, Sixer fans. And the Sixers still weren't done making moves during that night. During the draft, they traded Josh Richardson and a second-round pick for Seth Curry of the Dallas Mavericks. So what does Steph bring and why is this so important? Spacing and sharp shooting. If you didn't know, Seth Curry has the second highest three-point field goal percentage in NBA history, minimum 1,008 attempts, 2 spots ahead of his older brother, Stephen Curry. Last year, he shot 45.1% from the three-point line. That's crazy. In my personal opinion, he will run the JJ role, something out of the 2017 to the 2018 playbook, spotting up on threes and running around screens, adding his playmaking and ball handling skills, something JJ lacked. On to free agency, Morey wasn't done. During the period, he signed big man Dwight Howard, who played a pivotal role in the Lakers' championship run this season. He was brought in to provide backup minutes for Embiid, which we all understand will be needed when we go deep in the postseason this year. What does he bring? A high motor, spark off the bench, put back point guard, rebounding, lobs, and most importantly, a sparring partner for Joel to face during practices. All for a 1-year, $2.6 million deal. People forget that Howard is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just imagine what he can teach Embiid and help him with. This is a win-win in my opinion. Wrapping up the rest of the offseason, the team traded guard Zaire Smith to the Pistons for center Tony Bradley, who will be the third-string center behind Embiid and Dwight. Trading Smith frees up cap space into the future as he was signed with the team throughout this season and next. Bradley's contract ends after this year. Wrapping up free agency, the Sixers signed a plethora of guards. Ryan Brokoff, Dakota Mathias, and Derek Walton Jr., plus Justin Anderson, were all added for minimum contracts. Because of this, we had to drop 2 fan favorites. Mario Shayok and Norval Pell were released by the team. I want to say thank you for those guys for giving me memories the last few seasons. You will be missed. So what are my thoughts on all this madness? Daryl Morey delivered, bro. Like, that's clear. A lot of people theorized that he would bring small ball to Philly, dramatically changing our team, but they were obviously wrong because Morey is known for maximizing the talents of star players by putting the right pieces around them. That is why he went in all small ball for James Harden, because that was Harden's talent. Here, he already has 2 established superstars, so he's going to find pieces that fit them specifically. What fits a 6'10" point guard and a 7-foot talented stretch 5? Spacing and shooters. The squad really went out and traded for their shooters. If you didn't know, Ben Simmons led the league in most assists on threes last season, and that was with the garbage with, Tobias, Josh, Al, Furkan, and them boys. Just imagine the amount of assists he's going to rack up with these new professional shooters. So why did the Sixers win the offseason? Well, because 1, they got rid of the Al Horford contract, their biggest liability financially and personnel. 2, acquired shooters, their biggest need of the offseason, which would help create spacing for their 2 stars. 3, they aced draft night with players who can contribute right now on the floor. No, we are not a true championship threat as of right now, but do not be surprised if the Sixers make some noise this season going into the playoffs. Y'all saw what happened last time Ben and Joe had true spacing around them. I personally believe this is a 2-year project with this team, but we shall see. He is clearly following the 2017 to 2018 season blueprint, and let me tell you right now, they were scary. Imagine acquiring a Curry brother, a top 6 3-and-D player, drafting a University of Kentucky product, and signing a quality backup for Embiid, all in the span of 2 weeks. This is the Doc and Daryl effect. So let me know what you think of these moves. It was fun to be a Sixer fan again. I was literally on my phone the whole night Friday on Bleacher Report. There's a community tab within Bleacher now, and I've definitely been on that, John. So if you see me, because I probably will still be on, you can say what's up to a kid, and we can banter back and forth. But yeah, I am satisfied, and I know we still have room to grow. So there is that. Make sure if you feel so inclined, like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, a Sixers friend, a Sixers fiend, a Sixer fanatic, such as myself. I am always appreciative of your support. So as always, them Bulls are mad because the process worked. My name is Kyan. Thank God for Daryl Morey, and I will see you next time. Peace.